I've got stories, I've got conversations, but in my mind, it still doesn't exist. And I don't know how to answer that other than God deletes that chapter for a reason.
Hey there, NASCAR fans. Buckle up and rev your engines as we dive into the heart-pounding world of Daytona 500, where speed, skill, and adrenaline collide. Today, we're taking a thrilling journey through the twists and turns of NASCAR's most iconic race, exploring controversies and crashes that have etched unforgettable moments in racing history. Our journey begins in 1959, the inaugural Daytona 500, where the legendary Lee Petty found himself at the center of a controversy that would go down in history. Imagine the drama of a dead heat finish, a 3-day wait, and a switcheroo in the winner's circle. At first, late on Sunday afternoon of February 22, 1959, there was uncertainty surrounding who had won the first Daytona 500. 3 cars had taken the checkered flag side by side, Joe Weatherly in a Chevrolet on the outside, Lee Petty in an Oldsmobile in the middle, and Johnny Beauchamp in a Ford on the bottom. By Wednesday following the race, after reviewing live footage from Hearst News sources, France reversed the decision of who won the race. Lee Petty's victory, delayed by 73 hours, marked the birth of a NASCAR legacy. Let's roll back the clock and feel the tension in the air.
The checkered flag. The race is over. Both Petty and Beauchamp clocked in the identical time. 3 hours, 41 minutes, 22 seconds. Petty and Beauchamp both wheeled to the winner's circle. The on-the-spot, unofficial decision went to Beauchamp, pending examination of photos. Daytona history records an amazing parallel.
Fast forward to February 26, 1961, and tragedy struck the Petty family. In a heart-stopping crash during qualifying races at the Daytona International Speedway, Lee Petty's career came to an abrupt end. While leading the field, Banjo Matthews spun out, which started a chain reaction of accidents. Johnny Beauchamp clipped the back of Petty's vehicle, sending both cars up the track. They hit a guardrail, went through it, and both cars left the track. The 2 cars became fiery wrecks. That incident put Lee Petty, father of NASCAR star Richard Petty, in a coma for 4 days and marked a dark chapter in NASCAR history. The incredible survival of both drivers, Petty and Beauchamp, showcases the resilience that defines the spirit of Daytona 500. Now, let's talk about the infamous 1979 Daytona 500, where Kayla Yarborough and the Allison brothers turned the racetrack into a battleground. With emotions running high, a last-lap crash turned victory into chaos. The infield brawl between Yarborough and the Allisons became an iconic moment, etched in NASCAR folklore. For NASCAR, the race at Daytona International Speedway couldn't have been better. On the last lap, entering the backstretch for the 200th time, leader Donnie Allison and second-running Cale Yarborough banged side to side several times before hitting the turn 3 wall and sliding down the banking together. Seconds later, Allison and Yarborough were scuffling at the accident scene. Punches were thrown and helmets were swung as they vented their displeasure with each other. There wasn't much damage, but 2 stars fighting was unusual in the new NASCAR.
Let's look again at that crash. Here it is. They're into the turn already, spinning, sliding. The hopes for Donnie Allison vanish. Cale Yarborough trying to win his 3rd. He's out of it. A sad moment for these people. And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. The tempers overflowing. They're angry. They know they have lost. And what a bitter defeat.
Very hardly upset. And Bobby Allison is stopped by his brother to help.
The 1979 Daytona 500 was the first live, start-to-finish superspeedway event, televised by a major network, and all those homebound TV watchers had something new and exciting to talk about. On February 14, 1988, Richard Petty faced a harrowing crash that sent shockwaves through the racing world. The King was coming out of a turn on lap 106 when he was bumped from behind by Phil Barkdahl. That sent him sliding sideways down the track where his car caught air underneath the vehicle, causing it to stand up on its nose. It then slid into the fence where it began rolling along the track. When what was left of Petty's car finally landed, it was slammed by Brett Bodine, which sent it spinning out of control.
Trouble in turn number 4. Richard Petty's car goes airborne, end over end. There's 2 or 3 other cars into it.
Petty has hit the wall very hard. He gets hit again as the car came to rest at the entrance to pit road. Petty's car is really smashed front and rear as he went into the outside retaining wall.
Petty suffered temporary blindness from the incident, but was unharmed otherwise. Now, brace yourselves for the tragic turn of events on February 18, 2001. The Daytona 500 claimed the life of the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt. Let's take a moment to reflect on a Daytona 500 that marked the end of an era and the racing world lost a legend, Dale Earnhardt. Known as the working man's driver, Earnhardt's death in the final lap of the Daytona 500 sent shockwaves through the sport. A last-lap collision, where Dale Earnhardt hit the wall as he was hit by Ken Schrader in a crash that killed him during the final lap of Daytona 500, left the racing world in mourning. His impact on and off the track, his voice as the sport's conscience, will forever be remembered.
Big trouble. Big wreck behind him.
I hope Dale's okay. I guess he's all right, isn't he?
You okay? You okay?
This is undoubtedly one of the toughest announcements that I've ever personally had to make. But after the accident and turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
Picture this, a caution period, the roar of engines subdued, and suddenly, a shocking crash that brought the Daytona 500 to a standstill. Juan Pablo Montoya, a versatile racer with a background in F1 and IndyCar, found himself in the midst of a jaw-dropping incident during the 2012 Daytona 500. During a caution period, Montoya was running in the top 10 when he lost control of his car and collided with a jet dryer, which was used to dry the track after a rain shower, a fiery explosion, and a hole in the track. Montoya's Daytona 500 experience was one for the history books. But this incident wasn't just a crash. It was a turning point in Montoya's NASCAR career and a catalyst for increased safety measures in the sport.
Trying to clear debris off the racetrack, and the car brakes, won't steer, and he slides up the track.
As if it had a tire down or something. What an incredible turn of events. I've never in my life. Oh my gosh.
And all that spilled jet fuel found something hot to ignite it. Safety workers quickly on the scene.
Now, let's fast forward to February 24th, 2013, where rising star Kyle Larson's bid for victory turned into a jaw-dropping airborne spectacle. Racing for position, a bump from behind sent Larson's car soaring into the catch fence. Debris scattered, the engine block flew into the grandstands, and chaos ensued. Larson fortunately walked away from the accident, but several spectators were injured by the debris. Take a deep breath, fans, as we revisit one of the most spectacular crashes in recent Daytona 500 history.
Free and contact. Smith turned around. Tony Stewart is going to win this race. A terrible crash coming to the finish. Kyle Larson's car with the front end. He's bailing out of the car.
Of today's race, an accident coming to the checkered flag forced that 32 car of driver Kyle Larson up into the safety fencing.
A testament to the unpredictable nature of Daytona, Larson's crash added another chapter to the race's storied history. The resilience of the sport, the safety improvements, and the courage of the drivers shone through. Fast forward to February 17th, 2020, and the Daytona 500 once again delivered a heart-stopping moment that left fans holding their breath. Ryan Newman, battling for the win, faced a violent crash that shook the racing world. Newman had surged into the lead on the final lap when Blaney's bumper caught the back of his Ford and sent Newman into the wall. His car flipped, rolled, was hit on the driver's side by another car, and finally skidded across the finish line engulfed in flames.
To the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside. Wow. Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman in a shower of sparks on his roof. Ryan Newman comes across the line, fourth.
Ryan Newman was hospitalized after the horrific wreck where he was put in a medically induced coma and suffered what could be described as a brain bruise. He walked out of the hospital less than 48 hours with no memory of the crash. Newman's survival and the subsequent focus on safety advancements in NASCAR highlighted the sport's commitment to protecting its stars. Flames, flips, and a photo finish overshadowed by concern for Newman's well-being. This incident served as a stark reminder of the fine line these drivers tread on the track. And there you have it, racing enthusiasts, a roller coaster ride through the controversies and crashes that have defined the Daytona 500. Daytona 500 remains a testament to the resilience, passion, and camaraderie that define the spirit of auto racing. Until next time, keep those engines roaring, and may the Daytona 500 continue to deliver moments that keep us on the edge of our seats. For For more interesting content, hit that like button and subscribe. Share your favorite controversial moment from the Daytona 500 in the comment section on Lucky Dog on Track.